everybody, Josh RV Nerd here, Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. 7,340 pounds, the very popular, very cool, shorter length Cougar 24RDS couples camper here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This one is really slick because it's combining a more towable size and weight category with a lot of windows inside to give us a really big open look and feel. Take a look at this thing. That mega rear dinette has a ton of storage, has windows all around it, can fold down into a big sleeper, gives you a huge place to gather around and have a bite to eat. And the shorter length of this is perfect for doing things like towing recreational doubles. If you got a little flat bottom boat or enclosed trailer, Cougars now have a standard 3,000 pound rated towing hitch behind them, which is, I think, a very cool thing. Combine that with a nice large shower, really handy features like in command and auto leveling, and a really strong hot cold camping package that is trumped by very few, if any, other members of a mid-profile fifth wheel category. And then factor in a full-time RVing warranty that is also really hard to find in this category of fifth wheels, and you got yourself a winner, I think. Now, during our little fast flash sneak peek footage at the beginning there, you got to see everything with the nightshades all pulled. I wanted to kind of do a little Age of Aquarius and let the sun shine in on this one because I think all the big windows are really critical on this floor plan. And that's something I want to focus on first because it's a smaller living space. So anything you can do to make it look and feel larger, I think is a very impactful thing. You will also see that every single window opens for airflow, whether it's the sofa side, the dinette side. I guess in point of technicality, the viewing window in the door does not, but look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 full viewing windows on the door side of this RV. And considering it's a door side kitchen, I think they did pretty darn good. One of the most common things that you'll hear customers say, and you'll even see me say, because, you know, I'm happy to always share the highs and the lows of an RV, is it's often lacking in door side windows. I don't think this one is. Actually, like if I come over here and I sit on the theater seat and I put you in the driver's seat, here's what you're going to see for the most part in your RV. You're going to be just looking all over your campsite, and if you kick your feet up in the recliner, you are naturally going to be facing straight up toward the entertainment center. But everything's kind of in view. No one is really left out. And the majority of the kitchen prep space, function space is over here to the left. Yes, there is some serving space to the right, but I don't think someone's like going to be realistically consistently standing in front of you. And whenever you're in a smaller space like this, I do think you need to kind of be a little bit realistic about how the space is being used and the accommodations. Now, the enhancements to this dining area here, this is something I am so happy to see. It's an area that I really felt this floor plan was a little bit deficient previously, and having that free floating dining table right there around that big mega wraparound 8-foot wide dinette, that is something that I really appreciate. Now, you might notice Cougar, like a lot of Jaycos, they have heat vents in the floor, and I want to go ahead and proactively address this. Some people don't like those, but they don't realize that that is by far a more effective heating system than cabinet ducted heating, and it doesn't cause you to lose storage, which in a smaller RV like this, I think is a really impacting big deal. And whether you're just trying to block the sun out for some hot country camping, or if you are trying to do a little bit of napping time here, you see that that rear dinette can fold down into one giant bed. It's like 8 foot long and about 44 inches wide. It is quite large. It's definitely adult capable. Cougar's going to get the job done here. Now, you have some options again over here. What we're looking at today is theater seating, which I think you'll probably find for the most part here at Haylett RV, since you're going to spend most of your time in a theater seat across from the TV. But if you want to be able to kick your feet up, take a little midday Netflix nap, which I tell you, I've become a pro at. That little dad nap, ooh, I'm good at that nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. But standard in here is actually a tri-fold sleeper sofa. And I wanted to open this up so you can get a little bit of an idea for the space of it. It will open up a little bit further than this, but not much. So you can get all the light, all the views, all the visibility, or you can block it all out and get all the privacy that you're really looking for. And again, help keep the sunshine out of this thing. Now, before we move on, I want to show you a couple neat things. Right beside the theater seat or the sofa, the hide-a-bed, depending on what equipment you have in your specific 24RDS, you have a little light switch for the lights above the sofa, and that's actually a little motion switch, and it has a dimmer function. So when I say motion, I don't mean like, hey, it activates when you sit down. I mean like when you flick your thumb, the motion will actually activate that. And it's not necessarily touch sensitive, but kind of similar. Now, if we look back here on both sides of the dinette, both sides of those big windows, you see household and USB plugs. That is, I think, a really handy feature. And something else I think a lot of people are going to like is the fact that Cougar kicked the carpet. The carpet has kicked the bucket. They have adopted basically the same kind of marine grade, like pontoon deck flooring that you might find in a Montana here. And that has gotten all the carpet out of this on any walkable space anyway. Kept this thing a lot easier to clean. And if you do happen to spill something on it, it's a lot easier to clean up there as well. Now I want to talk about refrigerators. This RV was ordered this way. It was ordered with the standard 8 cubic foot two-way fridge and freezer. Most of the time at Haylett RV, what you're going to see is the 12-volt DC compression refrigerator, which is 10.7 cubic feet. It is 12-volt only, but it is travel-friendly, it is larger, it cools faster, and the RV doesn't have to be level for it to be used. But obviously, we can get one either way to your specific preferences. Next to that, you will always have a very generously sized pantry, and you also get to see one of the more recent updates here. Not only did they go carpetless, and notice how that persists all the way through the back of the slide, but they've also gone to hidden hinges to give it a little more clean look when everything's closed up. When I close the cabinets back up, take a notice of that. Now, it's easy to miss that like full wall backsplash back there. And then up top here, you see more of that pocket screwed cabinet space. There is a pocket above the microwave. If I'm going to be picky, I would really like it if they put a strut on that overhead door. I hope you appreciate the candor, the fact that we're willing to say even things that we would like to see improved on an RV, but that is admittedly a minor thing, and if that's something you need, we can take care of that here at Haylett RV before you take it home. These are all sealed edge press membrane counters, and when they updated to what they're now calling the driftwood decor, very, very heavily influenced, I suspect, by like the Jayco farmhouse decor you'd often find very commonly here at Haylett RV. They've changed the countertop color, but still the same material. And I tell you, man, I'm liking the color palette in here. Especially, I think this color package is extremely impacting in a smaller model like this one because the lighter colors make the whole thing look and feel bigger. Down here, we have that electric space heating fireplace and like all kinds of good entertainment options. Cougar still including DVD for us, which is nice, but also some USB plugs there. Just keep a phone charged by the door, which is handy. And then up top here, the TV is currently facing directly toward the theater seating, but like all Cougars, it don't gotta. And I say things in that way sometimes just to make my high school English teacher's eye twitch a little bit. And every time I use the calculator on my phone in my pocket that my math teacher swore I would never have as a child, I also like to laugh just a touch. Now, the TV's large, obviously, and easy pivot out for easy viewing. Over here, we have our in-command center. So if you want to run the lights, the air conditioning, all kinds of different stuff, you can do it right from that panel. Anything you can do on that panel, you can operate from your phone if you choose to sync your phone to it. And once again, man, I am happy with all the window coverage on this. You have excellent visibility on this model, or you can just block everything out. Now, I want to talk about a couple Keystone exclusive things. The trick is, you can't see one of them. So up top here, we have our standard 15,000 BTU Coleman quiet air conditioner. What you're looking at, though, you see that the air conditioner ducts, where the air actually pumps into the RV, looks a little different. Looks like a little swirly-whirly gig, and I think that's intentional. What they're finding is that with this style of air conditioning vent, they're actually getting more air out of the vents and down into the RV and cooling more effectively. Now, that's on the short term, and that will always be that way, but long term, they want to make sure that that stays the case. So the ducting that runs all the way through the ceiling of this actually has these little Keystone exclusive joining kind of Lego brick style things in them to make sure that that ductwork doesn't collapse over time, so that if it's year number 7 or 8 or whatever, you're going to get the same good airflow that you get on year 1 and 2. Now up top, you see that little white nubbin and that green sticker. If you choose to upgrade to like the LTE Wi-Fi, whatever you want to call it, system, the WineGuard Connect, that's where that would be located right there. And once again, just a nice clean look at all the cabinetry now that we've closed everything up, since I realized you've only seen it all exploded. And by the way, if you are a campsite cook, Cougar does a nicer job on their oven than a lot of brands. So that's the larger 22-inch Furrion. versus a more common 17-inch non-Furrion. And I want to point that out because, one, obviously it's larger. Two, Furrion does some neat things. They have a two-way light switch, so if you want to light up just the knobs, or you want to light up the knobs and inside the oven, you can do one or the other. That's something that they didn't used to have. Also, the sparker knob. If you look at it, like most RVs, it sparks the stovetop. Unlike most RVs, it also sparks the oven, but Furrion has a safety mechanism in there. It won't actually start pumping propane into that oven until it detects the spark. So you might have to spark it 1, 2, 3 like I just did, but it also won't turn your Cougar into a bomb. Because when they start talking about hot Cougars in your area, what they don't want to be talking about is a fifth wheel on fire in a campground. So Cougar makes sure that's not going to happen. Now, the bathroom in this specific model is actually a little bit different from what you'd find in a lot of other Cougars. It's specific kind of to this floor plan and the 23 MLS Cougar that you might find here at Haylett RV. But in both cases, what you're getting is a lot of leg room. I mean, you know, if you take a look at this, like if I took a picture of myself sitting on it, leg room for days in front of that porcelain foot flush stool, and plenty of headroom in that shower over there. It's got a 6.5 foot tall upper deck, and they recess the shower flooring so that the ceiling in the shower is the same height as the ceiling in the hallway where I'm actually standing right now. But what's nice is I think they're doing a better job on storage here than a lot of brands in a smaller fifth wheel. Now, a nice linen cabinet right here from floor to ceiling, it's a good start. But you'll see it is just the start, because as we go past that corner shower seating space, you see that they're giving us drawers down to the floor here in the bathroom and a spot with no space wasted below the sink for a wastebasket. Not a giant one, but enough for a little bathroom, you know, Q-tips and stuff like that. That is something that a lot of RVs fail to do well. Give me a little space for a wastebasket in the bathroom. Cougar's very good about it. Montana too. Keystone fifth wheels really as a whole, I guess. Anyway, same sealed edge countertop here that you would have seen, or have seen rather, already in the kitchen area is a nice touch as well. Now, moving forward into our private 60 by 80 queen bedroom, we see that we have ourselves just a giant viewing window over here. But what's also nice, we can see that we've got nice wide open, basically full storage below the bed here as well. Always a handy fan favorite feature. And no real big step up, ankle breaking, you know, trip of death down here. Nothing like that. You'll also see that a lot of things in this bedroom are kind of rounded off on the edges, so you've got a lot less like sharp corners to jab yourself. Now, if I get down a little bit, and I don't mean dancing, because that's not my strength. I play music, I don't dance to it. At least, not well, not without a couple tequilas. There's something about a bottle of tequila that says, you can dance, buddy. Trust me. And you just pray in the morning that nobody had a camera. Anyway, I'm off topic. Sorry. Dual bedside stands. Very CPAP friendly. Like you see household and USB plugs over here. Now you see the same thing over here. But you will also, if you see the RV in person, you can see there's an extra sticker on that outlet. You might be going, what is that? Well, if you're down with OTG, yeah, you know me, you're aware of the Cougar Off the Grid package. So that is one of 3 outlets in this RV pre-wired to an inverter, which would actually be installed in the pass-through just below us right now. So that outlet, an outlet in the kitchen with a similar marking, and the television can all be live powered off a battery should you choose to either get the solar off the grid package or add an inverter after the fact. Quick note for you. This is a smaller RV, and the insulation package on the Cougar and the 15,000 BTU that's on it really, unless it's extreme situations, doesn't typically need a second air, but it is always 50 amp service. It is always ready for a second air. You don't have to pay extra to option that. And if you need a second air conditioner installed on this, you call our team. We're always happy to get one built for you that way, or just go ahead and slap an air conditioner on the one that we have in stock here. That's easy stuff for us. Now, if we crack this thing open, you can see those aren't hanging stands on the sides. They are just general like cabinet space with tons of good dresser space in the slide over here. Not to mention full-on hanging storage throughout that slide. So what that does for us, it gives us, especially with the mirror doors, it gives us the larger feeling bedroom while still maintaining good storage space. And of course, this big window over here never hurts. And it occurs to me, one thing I forgot to show you, is we do have TV hookups over here in the corner. And then down here. So we have in command If you want to, you can use your phone to operate all the lights, but you don't have to. You never have to sync to in command if you don't want to, because one switch in the living room, one switch in the bedroom can still operate the ceiling lights, or you could use the touchpad, or you could use your phone. Or you could ask your spouse to do it. And a look here for you in travel mode with the slide closed. One of the things I don't talk about, but this is a good example of what you should do. When you are traveling, you should put the dinette down into like sleeper mode. And that will basically help keep that table from jiggle jarring all over the place. Now with the slide closed here, you see that you can get through the kitchen pretty nice. You can get to the pantry, you can get to the fridge, you can get to all that stuff. What you cannot get to without opening the slide, however, is the upper deck. It's not my favorite thing on a small RV like this. On a smaller fifth wheel, really designed for traveling, I really would have liked more travel access. It's not that it's really hard to open the slide a little bit to slip through, and this is the type of slide system, by the way, you can partially crack, slip through, and then use in command to close behind you. So in a way, if you're going to be at a rest stop and you want to make sure some murder hobo doesn't sneak into the camper at night, well, the Keystone Cougar is about as murder hobo proof as they come. And I call this one stubby, because this is a short little stubby Cougar. It's not one of those big giant 40-foot monsters like you often see out there, but what I like about it is the way that it combines all the same big Cougar features into just this smaller, towable series. Like if you're looking at that big quad slide mid-bunk Cougar from the front, you really can't tell the difference. They both look phenomenal. Cougar's very consistent on a lot of their equipment too, whether it's little Cougar like this or big Cougar fifth wheels. Like they're still using the shock dampening pin box and suspension combo to give us some very nice towing. Then you've got the little Cougar Vision reflective plate up top. The idea behind that is like if you got a tonneau cover or something on your truck bed and it's a little hard to see back there, it's nice to be able to at least have an idea of like, hey man, where is my hitch pin? Is that lining up with my actual hitching and all that good stuff? Now, compared to previous generations of Cougars, you might notice they are no longer pre-cracking their sidewall fiberglass. They got tired of hearing about it, they bulked up their structure, and even though we never really saw structural issues because of it, Cougar made sure that you just don't even got to worry about it. Like they've added a laminated layer on top of their rear wall that didn't used to be there. They've done some things that people were concerned about, and that's what I like. They're always improving. Cougar's never really just rested on its laurels. Also, this is a little different, and I kind of like this. Most of the time, you're going to put a battery in this. You're just going to leave it locked down. You're not going to worry about it. But they're doing kind of like Montana does with their battery boxes. They have a hot and ground terminal on the outside of the box so that if need be, if you do got to hook a jumper or something up to that, you can easily, quickly power the RV. Sometimes if the RV's been in storage and you forget to flip that battery disconnect, that red switch over there in the pass-through, a feature like that is actually very handy. Now, I keep forgetting to talk about it. I'm glad I finally remembered on the first pass-through to talk about side view camera prep. That is going to be found on all Cougars, trailers, fifth wheels, everything. And it goes right along hand in hand with the rear view camera prep. So if you're looking for a full observation suite, you give our team here at Haylett RV a call and we will get you sorted. Now over here, enclosed docking center, all Cougars, this one included, are well into the 0 to 100 degree tested, proven rating category. They do a lot of things to accomplish that. We'll talk more about that in just a second. While we're here, easy access to the standard auto leveling controls, and you see that other plastic box. That is a pre-prep point for a solar controller. Now, not only that, Cougars are not just solar ready, remember, on the roof. They are also inverter ready with the Cougar OTG package. So they have pre-run inverter wiring to an outlet in the kitchen, the television, and the bedroom to be able to give you some off-grid functionality. More motion sense lighting up top here so that it'll kick on when you do need to see in your docking center. You've got a side solar prep plug right there, and then you've got the Key TV system. If you're not familiar with that, basically you no longer have to have an antenna booster set up on a Keystone with Key TV, but only certain Keystones have it, more of their kind of premier series. The idea is less signal loss, more channels, more reliability. And then you can see how everything is enclosed, protected, your gate valves are all heated, and that goes hand in hand with the weather package on these Cougars right here. They are enclosed and heated underneath. but that's all you can really see is just the enclosure. They also throw radiant barrier lining down there. They run their water lines alongside the frame rails, and then they run their heat lines directly beside them so that the heat lines are organically, through contact basically, heating the water lines. Then each of those heat lines, the heat ducting for the underbelly, has a T-junction so that it forces hot air into the underbelly and also has a direct hot air dump onto each of the holding tanks. And they have 12-volt tank heaters. All of that standard. Cougar has done a lot to make sure you are comfortable, but far more of us hot climate camp than cold climate camp. The good news is, most of that exact same stuff is also working to your benefit for hot climate camping, and that's why Cougar also switched from a previous tan skin to the current white skin, and they have a polar white roof membrane, and they have a radiant barrier running through the roof to help shed sun. And you see how the air conditioner also has a white shroud to make it more effective. Cougars are some of the best hot climate RVs I think you're going to find. If you're going to go to those Arizona, Texas areas, this is a brand that should be on your radar for sure. Cougar and Montana are both really good at this. They include a little sewer hose tube caddy right here so that your black tank stuff doesn't need to mingle with everything else. And, pardon me, all Cougars now have not just an accessory rack on the back, they are actually qualifying it as a towing hitch. You see the 4-way wiring harness and the 7-way, not 7-way, the safety chain hooks. That's what I'm looking for there. The idea here, what's funny is Cougar actually, their chassis and their hitch has been capable of towing for 2 or 3 seasons. They just never put the towing hooks on. They had just never run the actual wiring harness before. And they finally said, you know, we've done the hard part. Why don't we just finish the job off? And I'm really glad to see it. And on the bigger Cougars, I don't think it matters much. On this one, though, they're short Cougars where somebody might want to do some doubles towing with a little boat or enclosed trailer or something behind it. I think it's great. And of course, you can still use it as something like a bike rack, an accessory rack, without voiding one of the best 3-year structural warranties available out there. And we're going to get up on the roof past that camera prep in just a second. A couple things though. Look at the power awning on this thing. They extended it. They managed to thread the needle between the propane door and the big baggage door up front and ran it all the way to the back past that rear window. They put the biggest awning on this thing they possibly could. And what's funny is this little Cougar has a larger awning than a lot of the, like this has way more awning space than the 27 SGS triple slide Cougar. I think that's absolutely awesome. They have that shock dampening suspension system, and for towing safety, if you look at the taillights, they have a white segment in the lighting, and that is reverse lighting. I think they kind of got the idea from like Jayco and Eagle and said, we could pretty much do that same thing for the most part. And when you shift into reverse, maybe it doesn't look like much during the day, and unfortunately it's not something that I can really properly demonstrate for you here. But if you want to come visit our dealership, if you're really curious how well these lights work, we'll back a truck up to this RV, we'll plug a trailer or a truck into it, and we'll shift it into reverse and let you see that thing. And you almost need a welder's mask because it is no joke. Those are bright. People are gonna know you're backing up. Now up here on the roof, you might spot like a couple footprints as we go through, but you won't see those when you take the RV home, because one of the things that we do for you here at Haylett RV is we proactively quality control and inspect every new RV before we let it off the RV delivery driver's truck from the factory at no additional charge to you. And then before you take it home, we give the RV a full bath inside and out, also at no charge to you. We also show you how the RV works. We make sure that you got your propane fill, your battery, your water electric hoses, even some surge guards, all at no additional charge to you. That's just part of the price tag every day at Haylett RV. We are a no hidden fee dealer. If you appreciate that, hit that like and subscribe button, call our team, give us a chance to work with you, because I think you'll find why so many people every single year choose Haylett RV over a lot of other doorsteps, coming a long, long way to do business with us very frequently. Also, showing you details like roof solar prep, which is the little double plug in the front that you're seeing right there next to those 3 chimney caps off the holding tanks. And then showing you things like the roof attic vents that Cougars historically didn't have. They only started adding this a little over a year ago. The idea here is like I'm walking on the roof decking, and below that is all the insulation, and then you get to the ceiling panel on the inside. Well, inside of that, if you don't vent this and allow heat to get out, it turns into an oven really, really, really fast. Well, as soon as Cougar did that, they found that they were averaging 40 degrees less in their RV attics. And that is where the air conditioning vents reside. So, if the entire attic, the entire roof construction is running cooler, don't you think the air conditioner is going to run better? That's part of the reason I keep saying Cougar is one of the best hot climate campers I think you could really find out there. If you're looking to do some serious sunshine camping, this is a brand that should definitely be on your mind. And if you're looking for a place that shoots you straight, even willing to tell you maybe where this model falls short and always shooting you straight, I think maybe Haylett RV should be on your list. But then again, I might be biased. If you agree, again, hit that little subscribe button, follow along with us, give our team here at Haylett RV the opportunity to work with you, and I don't think you'll be disappointed like so many thousands before you. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.